Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone and good morning. It's great to see you again for this second meeting. I'd like to thank everyone for making themselves available for this meeting. However, I have received apologize for Mr. HAIKAL's absence because he is representing our company for the next project in Kuala Lumpur. I'm also afraid Ms. Johanna will be unable to join us today as she is on maternity leave. We are all aware that this is our second meeting for the Corporate Responsibility Program to support the government's effort in providing quality healthcare to our beloved country elderly. Before we go any further, could you please confirm the minutes of our previous meeting? Was there anyone who wanted to make any amendment?
Excuse me, Mr. AKMAL. I noticed a slight error in item number 2, which is 26 January 2022. The correct is 26 January 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Amzar. Yes, I recall precisely that. I take note of this and will make the necessary adjustment later. Is there anything else new?
I would like to correct the spelling names of elderly house. It's not Rumah Bukti, but the correct names are Rumah Bakti.
Oh, this is an error that should not have occurred. So, Secretary, please take care of this later.
Alright, Mr. Chairman.
I think there is no other amendment.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. Now, would someone propose that our last meeting minute can be accepted, please?
Propose that the minutes of the previous meeting be accepted.
Thanks, Ms. SYAZWINA. So, could someone please second the motion?
I second the proposal.
Alright, thank you. I would like to confirm the minute of our previous meeting with 2 amendments. Before we proceed with our meeting agenda, is there any resume matter that anyone would like to discuss?
Yes, Mr. AKMAL, I have got permission for our company to do a program at Rumah Bakti Bangi Selangor. They have agreed to join venture with us. And also they asked about the number of participants from our company who participate in that program.
Amzar, could you please respond to this question?
I'm not sure about it, but I think estimate the number of participants in this program to be about 400 employees in this company, including top staffs.
Thank you, Mr. Amzar. So, is there anything else? So, let us begin our meeting today with the first item on the agenda. So, as part of Mega Holdings Sdn Bhd 2023 Corporate Responsibility Programs, we would like to support the government's effort by increasing community service. As a result, I'd like to hear your ideas on how we can support quality healthcare for the elderly in Malaysia. Any suggestion?
May I, Mr. Chairman? So, in my opinion, we make the program that I call as What Matters. So, what we do for, our team will ask all the adults what matters most to you. They also ask whether all the adult has a trusted decision maker. The answer are recorded in the goal of their note. A tool within the electronic health record, EHR. It is also possible to include the story behind what matters in the EHR and document additional care of reference. In addition, the elderly will be comfortable when someone heard what inside their head.
I agree with you. That way can also help the elderly to be more focused on their health.
I am afraid I do not quite agree with you. I am a bit worried if this issue is quite sensitive to elderly because it involves memories that may have sad events and stories that hurt their feelings.
I see your point, but I feel this program can go further and make our goals achievable. What about you, Mr. Amzar?
I agree with both views. However, this situation affects the caregivers and family members of the elderly. The effects of emotional stress disorders on those who bear the responsibility of caring for the elderly need a conducive environment to help ease emotional stress among the elderly, and the psychological effects of caregivers and workers in institutions for the elderly. Apart from psychological and emotional issues, the issue of sexuality among the elderly is still significant to the extent that there are implications of sexuality problems for the elderly if not addressed. So, my suggestion is to make the decorations in this area more attractive to reduce the emotional or stress of the elderly because their emotions quickly stand out.
Wow, that's a great idea. How about the others?
I could not agree more. My idea was the solid one. Can we agree on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I would like Mr. Haikal to study the details and present them in our next meeting, okay? Thank you. Now, let's move on to our second agenda. For now, our company can only make a small contribution to the elderly. Does anyone have any other suggestions for providing support or other assistance for the elderly?
Mr. Chairperson, I suggest that is enough medicines for the elderly. As we agree, our company will allow all medicines to support the quality of healthcare for the elderly at Rumah Bakti located in Bangi, Selangor.
Okay, Ms. Syazwina, can you elaborate on your point of view?
In my view, our company can make a preliminary inquiry about a good hospital that is close to Rumah Bakti. We can talk to the hospital and the owner of Rumah Bakti himself to get their permission so that our company can supply medicine early there.
Okay, that's a fantastic idea. Based on this concept, we can design a program that will maintain the health of the elderly while reducing the program's budget. Is that true?
Exactly.
I agree with that. I would suggest that our company cooperates with the Red Crescent Society, which is actively making a success of the health service program at elderly home. And it called KBDR, which is Khidmat Bantu di Rumah. This program covers aspects of preparing food and drinks, buy daily necessities, self-cleaning, washing their clothes, becoming a check buddy, providing them physiotherapy service, help babies, cleaning the house and accompanying to place of worship, help withdraw money at the bank, help them to go hospital or clinic, and other appropriate assistance.
So does everyone agree with our friend recommendations?
I totally agree.
Yes, I agree too.
Okay, thank you everyone. I would like Mr. Amzar and Miss Afrina to look further into this matter. So, are there any suggestions that have yet to be made?
Mr. Chairperson, may I add something? I suggest that our company organize a health awareness campaign to society about the importance of healthcare among elderly. Other than that, tell them on how we as a society can together to take care of our health.
So, how does this relate to our society program for the elderly?
All right, public awareness is the first key to be a successful health campaign. Therefore, a carefully planned public information program should begin as soon as the community decides on the issue or problem it's want to tackle. People need to know what is going to happen, what it will happen, and why the project important to them. During the campaign, this information is provided through a series of messages for which every available channel of communication is used, including personal outreach, town criers, posters, public address systems, announcement at public or group meetings places, and if possible, radio and newspaper coverage.
I agree.
I like your opinion, Mr. Resme. Your point of view is valid, but I believe there is a lot to think about in the idea. So, is there any other business to discuss?
I have one thing to announce, Mr. Chairman. We need to congrats to our team member, Mr. Amzar, that he just received a new baby last Saturday. Congrats, Amzar.
Congrats,
Thank
Amzar.
you.
Congrats.
Okay, since there is no other business, let us call this meeting to a close for the day. Let's go over the meeting outcome before we get there. First and foremost, we agree with Mr. HAIKAL idea, which is the what matter program to care for the emotion of the elderly. Mr. Amzar's supporting idea appears more realistic in terms of easing emotional stress among the elderly. Then, Mr. HAIKAL will need to research the detail of this suggestion. Aside from that, we completely agree with Miss SYAZWINA on the next agenda item of providing enough medicine as part of our small contribution to the elderly. I'm also agreeing with Mr. Ray's suggestion, but we need to talk more about the campaign budget and tentative schedule. So, Mr. Amzar and Miss AFRINA will investigate this matter further. So, we will meet again in the next meeting on the next month. You have precisely a month to prepare of your report. So, see you in the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.